Hello, I'm Lisa Bowerman and I play Bernie Summerfield, and welcome to Audioheads podcast. And yeah.
Hi there, this is Geeks Assembled, and we are here with Audioheads. We are a group of people who gather to talk about the Big Finish and other producers, groups of audio adventures. This time we're talking about Jago and Litefoot's first season, the whole season. It's a box set. It was produced by Big Finish and comes from the Jago and Litefoot stories, the two Victorian gentlemen who accompanied the Fourth Doctor and Leela in Talons of Weng-Chiang. So I really like this story, but I want to hear what other people have to say. And so go ahead and give me your review and a rating. And let's start off with Beef Dad.
Yeah, well, there's 4 stories in this opening. You've got number 1, the Bloodless Soldier. So you've got a blood-sucking beast loose in London. That's really good. That is really good. And of course, you get the first appearance of Ellie in this, isn't it? I think so. First appearance. Ellie, the barmaid, played by Lisa Bowerman. She's brilliant as usual. She also directed this. Second one, another one that she's directed, the Bellova Devil. Well, you've got people rising from the dead. Really sounds like a Saturday night in Hull. Excellent stuff. Jago and Litefoot are just absolute magic together. I can understand why they gave them their own spin-off series. They really are just absolutely superb. The third story, The Spirit Trap. This one directed by John Ainsworth. Again, Ellie's a big part of this one. And you got Mrs. Vanguard, the medium, holding seances, but actually using the seances to put the spirits of the dead into the bodies of the living. Lovely. And that sounds like our Sunday morning in Hull. Then finally you have the Similarity Engine, directed by Lisa. And they did a Companions Chronicle called The Mahogany Murders with Jago and Litefoot. And this is basically a follow-on to that. It's Mahogany Murders Part 2, and you've got the evil Dr. Tulp. Great fun, brilliantly conceived. The wonderful thing about all of these is the feeling of Victorian London. And you really do, with the soundscape and everything, you feel yourself in Victorian London. You can imagine. It really sparks your imagination, and you're there with them. It's just incredible. It really is. And for me, this gets, I don't think I'd be too wicked giving it a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. That's not wicked at all. That's quite cool. All right, let's go to Hull because we've heard a bit about it. So let's talk to Lee Wilson about this.
Helen Hull, yes, very close connection there. who would have thought these two brilliant actors all those years ago when they did that one-off job for Doctor Who back in the 1970s, they ever think that they'd be coming back to these two roles and doing these series of audios? I mean, they're into their 12th series now, I think it is. It's a success for them. Brilliant characters. I loved them back then, and listening to them now, it's as if they've never been away, to be honest. Jago and Professor Lightfoot, what a brilliant double act. And I agree with what Beef Dad says. You get the feel with the soundscapes and everything like that. The Victorian London, it comes through the airwaves at you. It's just brilliant. As with the 4 stories, I loved them all. Some more than others. The first 2, fine for me. The Bloodless Soldier and the Bellova Devil. Sorry. But for me, my favourite one is the Spirit Trap. I just love the whole essence of that. Because I'm into sort of paranormal investigation stuff. But with all this seance and the fakery of it all, and that for me was brilliant. And all the spirits in a cabinet harked back to the sort of a cabinet back of the Talons Of Weng-Chiang and stuff like that. That for me is one of my favourite. Vanguard, what a brilliant character. And then we said that Similarity Engine. Listening to it halfway through, I sort of realised this was a sequel, so I looked it up to the Mahogany Murders. But I don't know if you have to listen to the Mahogany Murders to really follow this one, though, because it's a story it's set on its own. And also the actor Toby Longworth playing the bad guy in this. He always does a great portrayal on whatever he does. Toby Longworth, brilliant voice actor. For me, it's Series 1 box set. Yeah, the last 2 stories for me were my favourites. The first 2, yeah, they're but the last 2 were my favourites. So for that reason alone, I'm gonna give it an 8.5 because the last 2 stories for me were better than the first 2.
Thanks, Lee. An 8.5 out of 10. So, Tim, are you able to give your review right now from Hell?
Yeah. And then, by the way, Texas is closer to Hell than Hull is, Lee. But anyway, yeah, this is a great set. In the way of background, it's interesting that throughout the years, Jago Litefoot have become like the favorite of the Robert Holmes double acts, which is amazing from that story that they only finally meet each other in episode 5 out of 6. I mean, it's cool. They're both such rich characters throughout that serial that you forget that they don't even join up till the story's nearly over, because they provide like alternate companions for the Doctor and Leela throughout that story, and it's amazing. Yeah, this was started out as a companion chronicle, which is another range from Big Finish, which is more of an audiobook style than a full act play. I mean, than a full cast play. And according to the extras in this, it was the most popular one they ever had. That they had to reprint several more runs to keep up with demand, and obviously that implied that they should go ahead and do a series, which everybody was down to do. I mean, I think that's amazing. They also mentioned that they got these guys in and offered to show them the DVD of Talons to see, if they needed to rekindle what they did back then so many years ago. And they said, nah, we got this. And they do. They're such pros. They just walk into the studio and do their parts, and it's amazing. It's like no time has passed at all. As for the stories, I think they're all pretty good. I like the first one and the third one the most. I think those are the most effective ones. I got a little bit bored with the second one for some reason. And the fourth one, I'm not sure if you do have to remember the Mahogany Murders or not. I mean, I think it works on its own. It works as an end of this particular series. But overall, it's a great set. It's very entertaining. And I would give it a 9 out of 10.
A 9 out of 10 for Texas Tim. Thank you. I really enjoyed the sweet interplay between Jago and Litefoot. I thought that they were so good together. They had so much interest in what each other was doing. There was a sense of camaraderie that is, you know, I mean, in the future, like Amy and Rory kind of picked up on that kind of camaraderie, or let's see, in some ways, you can see that Clara and me might do that, but really they were great together, and they work because the adventures that they go on ask both characters, both Jago's theatrical thing and Lightfoot's scientific thing. They challenge both of those men's their what they know, and they draw them in to the adventure, and so we're captivated by that had interest in things, and the specific calling on their lives. I really love the Bellova Devil, like that was like, gruesome and fun, and but I did like the first one. I can't remember what it's called now. Anyway, the first one was
Bloodless Soldier.
The Bloodless Soldier. Yeah, the vampire thing, that was phenomenal. Yeah, but and the Spirit Trap was really eerie and really atmospheric. I mean, in a really cool way. Like you got kind of a full sensory experience when listening to that one, and then I was I enjoyed the fourth one too. The fourth one was you didn't have to listen to the Mahogany Murders, but it was good that we that it was sort of aligned in another group. There's going to be a podcast of the Mahogany Murders, and so the two, that kind of alignment was fun. And let me see, I will give the whole thing I'll give the whole thing a 9.5 out of 10. There wasn't anything that I didn't like about them. I loved the barmaid. She was hilarious and really didn't sound at all like the actress who played her, and so that was quite nice. And I got sucked into all of the baddies. They were well played too. So yeah, 9.5 out of 10 for me. Let's all talk about this openly now.
Well, how about Jago's alliteration? That's one of the main keys to his character. He's so hilarious with his quantifications. I mean, it's just it's amazing how they play off each other too, because he's basically the comedy guy to Lightfoot's straight guy, and it just works so well. I mean, plus, we forgot to mention too that there's a sort of Lestrade character, the police chief that they hang out with.
Yeah.
Sergeant Quick.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
This full box set here is, when you listen to it all, you realise Jago and Lightfoot are keeping that secret from Ellie, what they did in this second story. Well, took me back as what Jago did, because Lightfoot couldn't do it. That was totally out of character for that, because, you know, usually Jago's the coward. But
they really heightened the drama with that too, as well.
Oh yes, that took me by surprise when that happened, and then they decided not to tell Ellie the truth. I don't know if the truth comes out in further box sets down the line. I don't know, but as for Ellie, I didn't realise until I looked up who the actors were who was playing Ellie, and
she doesn't sound like
Lisa
her at all.
Wonderful Lisa. Oh well, you can't knock Lisa, can you?
No. And she directed 3 of them.
Yep.
So
she does do a lot. She does do a lot behind the scenes on Big Finish.
Yeah. So
she explained as well in the extras that it's kind of hard to switch hats when you're acting and directing sometimes, because you'll be so involved with directing the other actors when you have to step back and act a part. It can be kind of difficult. It might take you out of your headspace or something. She implies that anyway in the extras.
But she does it brilliantly.
She does it brilliantly. She's amazing.
Yeah, she is.
I'm wondering if that's why maybe she didn't direct the third one, because she has a much larger speaking part in that one.
Oh, it was a whacking great big part in The Spirit Trap. Because not only did she play herself, but she also played herself possessed as well.
Yes.
So she would go from one scene as playing herself possessed to what I call the purgatory, where she was playing herself. So I don't think she had much of a chance to relax during that one, or to even think about directing. But it was just an absolute brilliant performance from her.
From all of them, it's really
Vanguard. No, I haven't been able to get a cast list. But the woman who played Mrs. Vanguard was absolutely superb. The medium, she was brilliant. She really was just very, very good. Totally convincing. Loved her performance.
Well, I think Big Finish, as you said, hit on Goldman when they decided to do this series.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this was 2010 when they did this one.
Mm-hmm.
They've regularly put out 2 box sets a year. So,
I mean, there's 12 series now, so there's 2 a year.
Yeah.
So it's keeping those old 2 duffers busy. But they seem to do it.
They do. You know what? They don't sound a day older. I mean, when you listen, you imagine them just how they were back in the day. And they're so good at it. I mean, they never miss a beat. I mean, it's amazing what they pull off.
Yeah.
It's amazing what Big Finish pulls off themselves as well. I mean, to get this to get these 2 characters only appeared once. Say back in the 1970s. I mean, to get a new audience listening to these 2 characters as well, because many of these people that listen to these audios won't even remember the original broadcast. Yeah, so they have done something good.
But I mean, the thing is, their voices haven't aged. That's the extraordinary thing. Because you hear the voices and you immediately see the faces, and they haven't aged. The voices haven't aged since they were since Talons. That's pretty damn extraordinary.
Yeah, and they still are brilliant acting off of each other. It's like that's the fun thing about those 2 is that they
bounce off each other brilliantly. Yeah.
And also a good thing I do know, because I've listened to some other audios, that the 4th Doctor does turn up every now and again, and also the 6th Doctor does to work alongside them, which is quite good. Well, hopefully some more doctors might appear along the way. You never know.
Well, I'm wondering if it's haven't they done with Strax?
Yes.
Yeah. So I suppose it's possible you might get more with the
Paternoster gang.
with the Paternoster gang. Yeah.
What's
Possibility.
What's cool is that in the Brilliant book they say that Madame Vastra was part of Jago's theatrical show, and then that so either Madame Vastra is Sherlock Holmes, or Jago and Lightfoot are Sherlock Holmes, or the Fourth Doctor is Sherlock Holmes, but somebody is Sherlock Holmes and inspired Conan Doyle to.
I'm surprised that they haven't done that yet, because they have their own Sherlock Holmes. They have Nick Briggs, who has his own series as Sherlock Holmes, and then as far as the Paternoster gang, Neve McIntosh was in the recent Eighth Doctor box set for one story, I believe. And when we all saw photos of her at the studio, we all assumed, Vastra's going to be in the audio, with Jago and Lightfoot. But that didn't come to pass. I'm not sure if the license covers it. I know they got Strax in. I'm not sure if they're able to use Madame Vastra, or they would get the actress that plays Jenny in at all. I don't know. So.
Well, I mean, the thing is, if they could use Strax,
yeah. That was a lot of fun.
Then I can't see why they shouldn't be able to use the rest of the Paternoster gang.
Yeah.
Well, that maybe they can use Strax because of the Sontaran, which is copyright to Robert Holmes, is it?
Mm.
It's all about BBC. They have up until Matt Smith's last episode before that's as far as they can go. So in other words, they can't use Peter Capaldi. They can't. But then again, the last time we saw the Paternoster gang was in his first story. So, I mean, you would think that there'd be some wiggle room there, but I don't know how this contract works.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and basically because of the government, the way the government have cut the funding and everything to the BBC, they're probably having to really hang on to moneymakers.
Yep.
Paternoster gang would be a moneymaker for them.
Yes. So they should have televised spin-offs and audio spin-offs, just like some others that I know of.
Yeah, well,
it was also good to see Christopher Benjamin appear in a new Doctor Who a few years back.
Oh yeah, he's always good. I've never seen him in anything bad.
Oh no, he's one of those actors that always delivers.
Yeah.
Even if it's just a supporting role, he's still
Inferno. Remember, he's in that for a little bit, but he's one of the background characters. I mean, he's not a background. You know what I mean? He's not the main character, but he's one of the people that disappears when he goes back into the side universe because he's dead. So interesting.
Yeah.
It would be good if one day maybe they could revisit Jago Lightfoot in the TV series.
Yep. I agree.
They're always going up to the Victorian era. You never know. Fingers crossed.
Yep.
Mm.
Anything else, folks? All right. Thanks for watching and listening to Big Finish, and thanks for listening to the Jago and Lightfoot series. That was our cameo by Brian. And we'll be back in. I don't think it's going to be a fortnight. Maybe we'll wait for a month and come back and record another Audioheads, because we're going to celebrate our Christmas and stuff.
Christmas.
Yeah, and thanks for listening and watching to also to all of the Christmas stuff that's going on with Geeks Assembled. We've done Home Alone, we've done Hogfather, we've done so many Christmassy things, and we'd love to have you continue to watch all the Christmassy things that we're going to continue. We're going to review Scrooge tomorrow, and the 7-part series. What's it called?
What?
What's the other thing besides Scrooge that we're reviewing tomorrow?
We're doing it tomorrow. It's a Christmas episode of a little-known British comedy series of Are You Being Served?
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Never heard of that.
I'm free.
Yeah.
Well,
It's very unpolitically correct. But I
okay.
don't care.
And thanks, you fellas, for doing these audio heads faithfully. It's really great. You're a really great cast, and so thanks, Lee. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, Tim. So much, so much from bottom of my heart. And we'll see you guys later. Okay.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.